France 24's international affairs editor, Armin Georgian, is with us here on set. Armin, this is clearly a very big day for France, a big day for the French president. What are Emmanuel Macron's objectives and his own vision for what's about to take place?
Wow, where do we start? Well, it's been, he's had this week-long itinerary of paying tribute to the memory of the fallen troops in various key symbolic places in northern France. And he kind of combined that with a political trip as well, because he was also trying to sort of explain some of the things that he's done to ordinary French people since he came into power. That side of things didn't go quite so smoothly. He was taken aside by, factory worker, a pensioner, other people. Someone said, "You're not welcome here." So it was actually, although it was meant to be a very carefully orchestrated, kind of symbolically infused trip of several days, it wasn't a huge, it didn't go quite as well as perhaps it could have done on the political front. On the memory front, well, of course, he did pretty much what you would expect a president to do. He went to the landmarks. He met the British Prime Minister on the Somme. Just something to say about today, there isn't a specific military parade, as I understand it, which has been a small controversy, I suppose we could say, in France, because actually on National Day, on July the 14th, 1919, there was a victory parade. What the Élysée wants to do is emphasize peace, not victory. And there are a few sort of voices on the far right which have criticized this and says he doesn't want to celebrate victory, he's insulting the memory of the poilus, the World War I French soldiers. But actually, a lot of other people don't find it so shocking because the way the First World War's been taught in history, in schools, is that it was an absolutely enormous sacrifice, and a lot of people don't really know ultimately what for. And so the kind of futility of it was very much how I was taught this subject in school in Britain, for example. Futility is a word that came up again. And also, when you think about reconciliation, Mitterrand and Helmut Kohl held hands at Verdun more than 30 years ago, I think. So even Verdun, the most potent French symbol in a way of World War I, it already became not so much a symbol of victory, but a symbol of reconciliation between France and Germany in the 1980s. So it's perhaps not quite so shocking, really, that what is celebrated here is peace rather than victory. And of course, as we've been saying, these 70-plus world leaders, it is a bit of a coup for Macron to have all of them there. It's actually, I think, 98 guests and 72 world leaders all coming to Paris. And some of those lead nations which themselves suffered very heavy losses, Russia, the British Empire, they're all in Paris on this day rather than commemorating the losses in their home country. So that, I think, is already says something.